Welcome back to the league that means nothing on Go Again Gaming.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome back to Round 5 action of the League That Means Nothing here on Go Again Gaming. You are here with Kiki and Elaine.
Hi.
Bad timing on my part.
Trying to not get my headphones unplugged by my cat. Currently.
You're here with Kiki, Elaine, and Elaine's cat of Pitch Perfect Pod fame. And we are here for Fang Week once again, at least when it comes to our commentated games, as we are bringing to you a spicy one with Gustavo playing Fang and Pascal playing Betsy.
Yeah, I'm gonna be upfront and say I have no idea about this matchup. I don't know Betsy. I don't know Betsy cards. I don't know what's going on over there. So I'm really excited to watch this game and think it's probably going to be a good game, I'd imagine. I feel like every time we commentate a Fang game, Kiki, which we have done together quite a few times now, we really enjoy it. It's so fun. It's so fun to do. It's a really good deck, and Betsy is also like such a fun deck to watch. Even though I know I know shit all about her. So yeah. Do you have any more professional thoughts than that?
Well, having not played any Betsy games myself, I have commentated one for the unofficial calling event in New Zealand. But from, what we can expect from Guardians is that Guardians do block well, which is going to be a huge hindrance in stopping these daggers potentially from hitting and creating the fealty tokens. So Fang might have to build up some sort of combo turn-esque sort of things, maybe stack up on some reactions to play around some defense reactions, so on and so forth. See what kind of equipment we're coming up against, a quick dot flexors, for example, would be an awful equipment for Fang to see, because that's just another reaction that they can use whenever. So it depends on the equipment layout, what kind of defenses we're going to see from Betsy, or if she's going to be purely offensive kind of Guardian, playing with the wagering and making big bets, huge attacks, and just going for these on hits, and just kind of not caring about what sort of things are going on Fang's side, because maybe the damage and the on hit pressure is too strong with crush effects. So with that deck list, we're just gonna have to wait and see, I guess. But yeah, I guess with no other points that I can think of, let's get into the game.
Today's game for the League That Means Nothing is brought to you by local game shop Void Games out of Crewe in Cheshire, United Kingdom. Focusing on trading card games, of course, Flesh and Blood being the favourite, and of course a lot of organised play there going down for all of your favourite games, casual and competitive. So make sure you go drop them a like on Facebook. That's Void Games. Cheers, Tom.
And welcome back to Round 5 action here on the League That Means Nothing on Go Again Gaming. Once again, we are starting off with a turn 0 Fang. I did make a brief mention about the equipment before. There is not a quick dodge flexes here. Instead, we have the civic steps. So, going to be slightly less tricky, and that quicken token may come into play at some point to give these Fire Veins go again without having to use a draconic attack, reaction, card, etc. So, interesting to see how that's going to go, but we're getting the full respect here. A block for 6 on the first attack, and Pledge Fealty. Rough. Immediately getting a interesting fealty token. I don't know where that one's from, but it looks pretty cool. And we've got another Fire Vein attack, another defense for 6 here. And we already see a Spinal Crush being defended with, which is one of those key sort of crush effects that I was kind of talking about that Betsy's going to need. So we'll see if that kind of comes back to haunt them. But at the very least, Pascal took 0 damage from that turn cycle of turn 0.
Yeah, 0 damage through, but still a fealty made is something I think that you can be happy with as the Fang player. And a card in Arsenal,
Yeah.
so But let's see what Betsy comes back with. Oh, that is a
Seismic Surge.
seismic surge token.
Looks like a bit of a custom.
I, I also know I have that custom, and it is from Jim, but I'm not. I don't think Jim's in the scene anymore. Anyway,
Well, it looks very pretty. And there we have the ideal card to have an arsenal when you're getting disabled. There is a Loyalty Beyond the Grave. A card which I fully respect at all times and have never been wrong about.
not once. We don't. Yep. Not
No,
once.
I do actually like that card. Dynamo putting work. Unexpectedly. Or not unexpectedly, as expected, rather. As, you know, these 3 points of defense that we're going to get throughout the game. Obsidian Vivan coming in for 1. We thought about... Oh, no, there we go. There's a Gauntlets of Iron Will there. Blocking alongside a Buckling Blow for 5. But Scar Tissue is going to make this dagger attack go up to 3 and potentially mark, but currently this doesn't have go again still. And we are just double checking the wording on Gauntlets of Iron Will. When this defends, the next time attack would gain attack this turn instead gains that much -1. So this defends during the defense step, triggering before the reactions. So we are going to have to push another reaction over the top here, and here we have the Searing Gaze. +2. The rest of the tech not relevant yet. And we have a Hunted token as the marked, but also a marked token on Pascal's side. And also this demonic looking bird thing, which I imagine is also a marked token.
A demonic looking bird?
Yeah, above the fealty.
Oh, I see it now. I totally missed that. I was like, what card is that? Ow! Sorry. I'm getting attacked by a cat.
Just like Betsy was being attacked by those daggers, Gustavo has to be happy with how that turn cycle went through. Already got one use, or rather forced the block from the Gauntlets of Iron Will once. That's a different Seismic Surge custom token. These players love their custom tokens over here. And drink them under the table. If I'm not mistaken, that's the As motto.
We love you, Az.
We do indeed. Thank you for having us. The Betsy activation going on. The drink 'em on the table. We have a little wager going on. The winner will draw a card, and the other hero will discard a card. 9 over power. You got to be a bit confident here.
Valiant. Yeah.
Like, A, it's huge. B, you saw defense reaction last turn already. So, of course, they wouldn't have back-to-back defense reactions. Like, Loyalty Beyond the Grave is never that lucky.
Wait, you got proved wrong with that once before.
But there is a huge fridge that can kind of jump in front of this. Drink them under the table if Gustavo wishes. There's at least 3. We might win the wager if you're a Fang fan. Smoke out. That's a defense reaction.
And the thing below also.
So at the very least, I was right about there not being a Loyalty Beyond the Grave there. But that was 2 defense reactions. Betsy, Pascal being forced to discard a card there, losing the wager, and Gustavo being able to draw a card, kind of get back some of the resources used from defending that out. Stifling 9 over power, pretty huge, and we're still coming in with this Fire Vein with 2 fealties. And we're doing this again, Gauntlet of Iron Will, defending for 1 on 1 currently. As reaction, we're getting a Blistering Blade, pushing this up to what would be normally 4, now 3 because of the -1 from the Gauntlet of Iron Will. Do we have 2 defense reactions to potentially get around a second reaction here? There's a sink below.
A lot of defense reactions on both times.
Hmm.
All right, so this is a March of Loyalty. It's just gonna be a 0/4.
Yeah, great numbers. No go again on this one, but you're kind of fine in this position. You're not losing your fealty counters, which is the most important thing, and you're still threatening a bunch of efficient damage. This is still in 7 damage turn, 8 damage turn functionally. And there's another Spinal Crush being pitched this time for this Oasis Respite. Now, Pascal does have more life than Gustavo, so we're not going to see the life gain benefit from that. Makes me think that maybe this hand is a bit blue light. We may just see something like a Surge Hammer kind of turn. We're not going to be able to go for the Spinal Crush there. Or maybe even just Hammer Arsenal.
Yeah, I was going to say that Valiant Dynamos. Oh,
Nope, this is
okay.
a bet big. Are we getting the Betsy trigger here as well? No, we're just going for a simple 2-card 8. Thanks to the Seismic Surge token. No, we're reaching for the tokens. Off the camera. There we go. We are betting big. 8 damage.
We are betting big. Well, I was going to say that Gustavo did not swing with the weapon twice, so the Valiant, the counter did not come off of Valiant. But I was going to say we might not see a big response from Pascal, so that might not matter too much. However, we've seen the biggest response with the bet big, quite literally. So we'll see what Gustavo wants to do about this. Valiant Dino is just such a good card.
Got the instant Slap Happy, preventing 2 of the damage, creating another Vigor token. Now, if Gustavo wins this wager, then he's going to have access to 2 Vigor tokens on his turn, which is going to be huge. Not needing to pitch anything. But no, he eats it. He wants to turn the Fred and stuff back. He wants that 3rd fealty and turn the hero ability on.
Yeah, Warrior, especially against Guardian, Warrior's not really known for being a class that can win clashes.
True, good point. Very few attacks. And the ones that we've seen have 4.
Very
4
few.
power.
Yeah.
Not likely to win clashes. I do really like this wager mechanic here, and like the aggressive use of the wager there, just asking Gustavo, like, hey, I'm not going to overpower this. Do you want to give me 3 cards, or am I going to get this full value?
Yeah.
It's kind of steamroll ahead with the life total here. But once again, we see the Savor Bloodshed line up with the Mark token.
And we have
We've
3
got 3
fealty
fealty.
now, which is very significant. Might be able to start changing the tides of this game.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a Vigor token, maybe. Not...
I think the demonic bird is a
That makes-
vigor token. Yeah.
Okay, I'm on board now.
I don't want to. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're caught up.
And this is exactly why Gustavo was happy to just eat that whole 8, give Pascal those tokens, because he swung the life totals fairly sizably in his favor once again, meanwhile getting that crucial 3rd fealty token, and that was all because he had access to all those cards for that turn. Getting that Seismic Surge back.
Whoa. Beautiful, fancy. Graded tectonic
It's
plating.
just a graded alpha foil, no big deal. Just a cold foil.
Say, I'd like to say that the league that means nothing is dripped out all the time. Every time we commentate these games, these players have it's like some iced out decks.
Yeah.
Like they are always got if not max rarity, they've got these cool custom tokens. They're stylish people over
Love to see
here.
it. You know, obviously the league itself means nothing, but the game means a lot to these players. We are getting a huge wager on this Anathos, I believe. The Good Time Chapeau was activated. We've got a Vigor
Yeah,
and a Might or something. Surely. Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
it's
the
a
Might
figure and
token's
a
on top.
might.
Literally. Looking at the screen explains the screen or something. But that's an 11 power Anathos. Huge.
That is a big Anathos. Oh, and a gold as well. So it's a figure, a might, and a
It's
gold.
just bet big all over again. But this time it's on a hammer.
Yep. Betsy, what an icon.
Gambling Queen.
Sorry, sorry, I know nothing about you, but I respect your
Yeah.
game.
I mean, Pascal just showing no fear, just placing bets on every big attack here. Being like, you're not going to defend it. You want to keep these fealties. And the life total's tied.
I think it's a pretty safe bet. Yeah.
But now with 3 fealties, Gustavo doesn't need to pitch anymore. So he can now block with all of his blues as needed, as long as he's able to maintain the fealties across turns. So he has access to 3 cards here. That's still pretty a lot. That's plenty. That's pretty a lot. What's wrong with me?
That is still pretty a lot, definitely. That is a whole lot of pretty.
As we've just been talking about. In the league, that means nothing.
Ew. And we've got the Civic Steps block with the Zealous Belting, a Tooth of the Dragon. A Tooth of the Dragon being played on the Obsidian Firevein.
Now, I do love the Civic Steps block there. Forcing the Quicking token to trigger on the second dagger. Probably not going to be a follow-up 0 for 4 after this, just because of the nature of the blocking and such. But, Gustavo playing around that disadvantage from wasting the Quicken token by kind of backloading the buff onto the next attack. And, only attacking for 2, so kind of wasting that extra block there. And that's, like, again, one of my favorite things about Fang. Like, you kind of fall into these defensive patterns against it, and then he switches it up, and the damage looks different.
Yep,
And the fealty is that
really good points there.
But the gambling continues because we have destroyed that gold crater last turn, and we are in for a good time once again. Whoa. We've got a bit of a small bet going on here, Not going so all in on the betting. Just a
Just
little
a
one.
little.
Zealous Belting's usually the kind of card you don't want to block. Usually you expect something bigger to come after that, especially when your opponent's, like, representing a Seismic Surge token and multiple cards in hand. So, 6. And it was just taken. Oh, there was a pummel.
Pummel. They're the pummel. A pummel has entered the battlefield. We love when pummels enter the
This
battlefield.
is exactly why Pascal felt so safe gambling, placing the bet on the Zealous Belting, because it was rigged to win in his favor. And we're still getting a hammer for 6 to follow up. For 4, I can't count, because that's not a 3 cost in the pitch zone. Nonetheless, 14 damage turn, not bad. And the life totals have once again swung in Pascal's favor. We have been seeing some blocking. I'm sure we've seen cards being blocked, but the damage output from both heroes at the moment is huge.
Yeah. I mean, life totals 13 to 18. Life totals are still pretty tight here. And You know, Gustavo's at 13, but we also have to recognize that it is Gustavo's turn, and Gustavo has 5 fealties, so it's kind of even hard to say that that they're in the back seat right now without tempo, because both these players have just maintained a lot of tempo. I also love that the pummel was played and pitched that turn, Pascal, because I don't think we'd seen a pummel like pitched before, and it's like I'm just gonna wait until I've played a pummel to
Yeah.
pitch a pummel.
Yeah,
No information given
100%. You
beforehand.
don't necessarily expect it there. You did bring up the 5 fealties, and that's the perfect time to have an Oath of Loyalty here. Just being able to turn
Yep.
on non-draconic cards and making them draconic if need be, just to play around the downside of the Oath of Loyalty being you have to play draconic cards this turn. Really well timed. You know, I'm sure that was the plan all along. That was going to happen that way. We are getting some equipment blocks here. We're seeing that fridge come into play. And we're getting the Civic Steps once again on the first dagger attack. Love to see it if you are a Betsy fan. But here we have the punish. Instead of going low like last time, we have just
Ooh.
gotten for a huge amount of damage, coming in for a 6. Just cards are flying. Cards are flying across the board. We're getting more fealty tokens. Life total changes. There was 6 on the second chain, and then 4, 5 on the third chain there. Huge amount of damage. And again,
Wow.
big damage turns from both sides. Life total changes. Swinging back and forth. There is no gold token this time to have a good time.
Yeah, what a powerful turn from Gustavo. Like I said, life total was at 13, but Gustavo had held on to their cards that we were seeing. So, you know, saw a lot of damage come back across the table. But now we're getting a big old thunk.
Is that 2 resources floating, I see?
I think it is 2 resources floating.
Now, if Pascal kept a huge amount of the hand just to not pummel, that is arguably going to be a punishing block. But of course he has the pummel there.
Bubble.
That's the only reason why you'd play Thug there. So now coming in for a huge amount of damage. Gustavo down to 5 and having to discard another card. So Gustavo down to 3 cards for this turn. But we saw 3 cards last turn, and that was what, 15 damage? Yeah.
Yeah.
One damage, quote unquote. Oh,
Classic warrior. It's just 1 damage. Ooh.
Tooth of the Dragon giving the bump to the next attack. So this dagger coming in for 4 currently, with 2 cards still being threatened here. Goodness, another +4. So this is now an 8 damage dagger.
Oh, the
Going
Hunston.
down to 1? 0? I can't count. Oh, the +1 from the dagger effect. Yeah, that's the game.
That's the
Oh my
game.
goodness.
Yeah, that's the game. +1 from the dagger.
What a flurry to finish that game off. Just absolutely cards going everywhere.
Yeah, it was like just so much slinging damage from one side to the other, and the next thing we knew, a life total hit 0. That was pretty crazy. Like I said before going into this, like, Fang games are just so fun to watch. I'm falling more and more in love with that hero the more we commentate Fang games in this league, which is maybe why Az keeps giving us Fang games. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
But yeah, that was fun. Betsy is fun to watch. There was just like a lot of betting
Yeah,
going
the-
on.
Absolute guts of Betsy to just have no fear, bet everything, have a great time. Not just a good time, a great time. Destroying that gold, wagering. Super exciting stuff.
Yeah.
I was wrong in the pregame breakdown. I was like, Guardians can block really well. Like, I can imagine a bunch of defense reactions. No. Pedal to the floor. Is that the expression? Metal? It's something. There
Pedal
we
to
go.
the metal.
Just damage. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know if these players know what the word blocking means. Like, if you throw your equipment in front of it, I'm keeping the cards in my hand and we're going for it. We saw pummels. Like, the quintessential welcome to Wraith, big damage kind of payoff. And we saw that happen, but because Gustavo was already on 3 fealty. Yeah,
Twice.
Because Gustavo was already on 3 fealty, he didn't need pitch cards anymore. All of his cards cost 0 anyway. And that's kind of like the power of Fang once you get your ability online. There was never really a moment where he was forced to give so many cards that he couldn't have a turn. He got his first 2 fealties in a very quick manner on turn 0 and turn 1. That's basically about as well as you could hope for as the Fang player. And like even through the Gauntlets of Iron Will stopping the damage or preventing some of the damage, he was able to just go like double reactions to make sure he was still getting through, playing his cards, trying to get fealties that way.
Yeah, really, yeah. Just a fun game all around, really fun to watch. Looked like it was really fun to play and very well played. I I mean, there was just some big turns from each. The pummels were exciting. We got to see 2 pummels, technically all 3 because we saw 1 pitched. But yeah, that was a like you said, a flurry of the game at the end. It was just swinging back and forth, back and forth. Yeah.
And I loved the bet on the Zealous Belting. Like, even if there wasn't a pummel there, like, the Zealous Belting usually isn't a card you want to block, so, like, it feels almost like a safe bet while
Right.
not being. Like, it's a really kind of a question asking your opponent if they're going to even attempt to try, you know? Especially with, like, extra cards in hand still. Like, you don't know what's going to follow that up. Could be anything. I don't know. That excited me. That was fun.
That's fun.
Mhm.
That was fun.
And if you
All
want to
right.
see more Fang games, go and watch the other one that we commentate where it's Fang against Cecilio. Make sure you check out all the fantastic casters and sponsors of the league. And until next time, thank you all for watching, and we will see you next time.